Welcome to the Serhant House. Andrew Undem with Berkshire Hathaway. And today I have two guests who need no introduction, the man, the myth, the legend, Ryan Serhant. Thanks so much for hosting us today, Ryan.
You're in my chair. No problem.
Well, it's going to be my chair today. Before we dive into the courses, the goal of this, we really wanted to talk to Ryan and Kyle, the president of Serhant Ventures, about the courses because they're so good. But before we dive into that, Ryan, I have to ask you.
Yes.
You're in Miami last week. You're in San Francisco. You're all over the place, Soho, Brooklyn, wherever.
Yep.
How often, on average, do people stop and say, you look just like Andrew Undem?
At least once a year.
That got me. When you come to Baltimore, it definitely happened. Yeah. So before we jump,
actually a lot in Baltimore. That was pretty funny. We had fun in Baltimore. Baltimore was easy to get to. Baltimore was great. The casino that we performed at was awesome. It was a good trip. But this guy, Kyle, sends me all over the country. Otherwise, I would be in that chair right over there, just trying to sell.
We like Ryan out as much as possible. That's the goal. Get Ryan out of the office.
He's the front of the house.
Yeah.
He's just dance, monkey, dance.
Hey, that's where the money's being made. You know, it's funny, in Baltimore, a few people thought I was you in Baltimore and came up to me. And I tried to play along for a little bit, but then you came out and you towered over everyone. And the energy, it was big money energy came out. So I'm working on that. It's a good book. So before we dive into the courses as well, give us a little State of the Union. You seem like you're doing your expansion always and always.
Yeah.
And the original saying. What's new?
I mean, listen, if you don't know the story, I got into the business at the end of 2008. I was in New York City. I had run out of money, and it was move home or figure out how to stay in New York, because I knew if I left New York, I'd never come back. Right? And I knew that if I could figure out how to stay in New York, something would happen. Maybe I wouldn't become a movie star the way I thought I was going to be, or this or that, but New York is full of so many intellectually curious people, and if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere, so I got to figure out how to stay here. So I got my real estate license. A friend of mine convinced me to do it, and just started renting apartments and figured that was a way to pay my rent, and it was just like theater, right? I was meeting people, and we talk about that a lot in the courses and in the books, just like the power of opening yourself up as a full human so that you can improvise and talk to people, because this is a human business. It's not a real estate business. And then it just sort of took off. $1 Million Listing happened in 2010. The season came out in 2012, and it's been 10 years ever since. Built a big team, started our own company in 2020. Kyle and I met actually because he was a producer at NBC, and was crushing it over there. And then we were just talking about, because I'd written Sell Like Serhant, the first book.
Great book.
And then turned it into a TV show on Bravo called Sell Like Serhant. And we're talking, show. And thanks. And he was like, what do you think about, I mean, you can tell this part better than me, actually.
So I ended up pitching Ryan this idea. What would it look like to take your best-selling book and turn it into a course? Like, we should do that. Why not? And you asked me, have you ever done that before? And I said, no, but I'll figure it out. And guess what? If you don't like it, you don't have to pay me.
Great negotiator, by the way. Yeah. Most people would draw hard lines and then meh.
Yeah, but that's what it is. Like, to get your foot in the door for something you've never done before. Like, I've been producing for 10 years. Never produced a course, but I know how to do media. So that gets you in the door. And then we did it. We worked on it. You liked the outline. And then we decided, well, let's make it. So worked on it nights and weekends while I still had a full-time job at NBC for like 8 months. And we launched it August 15th, 2019. And it did really, really well. Its first
I
weeks.
remember when that came out. And I'm glad you jumped into that. Because I was going to say, how did you come up with this idea? Who did you just say, I wanted getting into the coaching and training and online courses? But it sounded like it was pretty organic, which is neat. And you have unbelievably talented Kyle here to pull you through it. And it started with the outline. But when that came out, the book comes out, bestseller. Then that course comes out, like the real estate world, kind of everyone was talking about it. Have you got the course? We got it on our team. I remember we were going through it when you talked to our team at the end of the year in 2019 when Jeff Martin came out. And a lot of the top agents around the country, they do all the training. You have the Tom Ferry, the Mike Ferry, the Buffini. Everyone's trying to say, hey, what do I need to do to get to the next level? And then Serhant comes out. You guys put together this package. We get it. Like 4 people on our team went through the whole thing. If you haven't done the real estate core course, we'll talk about all 6 if we have time. It's pretty unbelievable. I still follow the finder, keeper, doer method.
Nice.
It just makes sense.
Yes.
And what was refreshing to me, at least, is it was so original. It was so clean. It was not like anything else you never heard of. It wasn't tired scripts. This is how Ryan does it, and let's look at the results. Pretty good.
Right.
And it's how we do it. today, I think, and to backtrack a minute, Kyle, I've never met anybody who uses their left brain and right brain at the same time. The way Kyle is able to, right? And that's really, really, really key. Yeah. And I do think, I know Kyle says, well, he'd never done it before. Had I said, you know what, I want to take my book and I'm on a reality TV show and I'm going to make an online course, we would not be sitting here right now. Yeah. It would have been a one-off. We would have put it out. It would have been shitty, like all the other bullshit reality TV courses, and it would have been like meh. Or if I'd found somebody who we make courses for a living. There's all those companies that do that. It would have been like a churn and burn agency model, and it just would have been terrible. But we really focused on how do we create really high quality, great value content for people that is worth an insane amount of money in terms of how much time you're going to save by absorbing all the content, and give it to people for a little bit of money, right? So we can pay for things and get these things out there and really build an amazing community. And that's where the business became a business, was that it didn't become just about the courses right away when we put it out in the summer of 2019. It became about the community. And the genesis really was, as I was writing the book, I was like, you know what if I told everyone on social media that I'm doing a how to sell masterclass? Yeah. I'll do it in New York City, and I wonder who will come. And we rented a venue. We had no idea. I thought it was just going to be New York brokers who came. Sure. And it was 500 seats, and we sold 500 tickets. And
in 2 minutes, probably.
Yeah, or that day or something. But five of those 500 were New Yorkers. Everyone else flew in from around the world, and it was like, what? Right. People had suitcases in line to get in, who came in from Asia, from South Africa, from everywhere. I had no idea how large $1 Million Listing New York was until that moment, and people came, and everyone's phones were up recording the entire time. And I did a 3-hour masterclass on really what then we turned into the 6 hours of the original kind of the core Sell It Like Serhant course. And from there, we're like, you know what? We have something that agents around the world don't have access to.
Yes.
Because there's other courses, there's other coaches, there's other training, and it's either done by people who don't sell real estate today, right? Who aren't trying to renegotiate rates right now, who weren't dealing with escalation clauses in 2021, right, who aren't nervous about the economy today, or they're people who are retired or just not in your ball game, or we actually do this all day long. I run a real estate team of 65 people. Let me tell people how I sell right now in one of the toughest markets in the world. And we put it together, and it's been awesome for our members around the world ever since.
We have several people on our team that are pro members, so I see a lot of it happening, and we're always cheering on people on our team. You have to be thirsty for the education. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear, but they have to want to engage with it. And I want to go through the 6 courses, who they're for, who they might not be for, because there's so much there, social media, building a team, the business in a box. But I have to throw this out and stroke you a little bit, not that you need it. There's been so many people on $1 Million Listing shows all over the country. And there's really only been one who's really blew it up properly and who executed. So be like, oh yeah, he's famous because he had a reality TV show. You know how many people had a reality TV show and didn't do shit? A lot. Mm-hmm. So kudos to you, because now you're so far beyond.
I thought you were talking about somebody else. I got nervous there for a second.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
The word we don't say. No.
Hey, Frederick's great, but he didn't blow it up like you did. And it's not even really remotely close. Talk about the risk starting your own brokerage.
Yeah.
Look, it's nice to be flying under Douglas Elliman. God bless him, but
I think
that would be nice.
It goes back to underlying ethos, right? Ryan's ethos of expansion always in all ways, as you said earlier, I think drives all of it. A lot of the other so-called reality stars don't have that same drive to build something much bigger than A, reality personality, and B, just real estate agent. There's a whole world out there. As we grow, there's a whole world of salespeople that we can help, a whole way to help real estate agents other than just selling real estate and selling the transactions. We can help a lot of salespeople build their careers.
It's so funny. I didn't want to do my online course like this because it would have been shit. And you look at everyone else, everybody does a pump and dump, try to make, can I make a quick 200K?
It's like a quick NFT sale.
Right. There's no community, there's no ongoing training, there's no coaching, there's nothing else behind it.
Because it's so much work. It is a real business. To do it the right way is a lot of work.
You showed us Serhant Ventures, 30 employees. Just on that, Sell It Like Serhant, 30 employees.
A lot of employees. Yeah, they're They're
my
all
God.
over the country. There's a lot of course members because people demand content. It's like we talk a lot about, just a little sidetrack here, about creating, apps.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone's got an app. We should create apps. When we started the company, because at the end of the day, something like Serhant is an ed tech company, right? Serhant, the brokerage, is a cloud brokerage. Right? We have this clubhouse because it's awesome. But all of our agents are virtual. The whole brokerage, everything is in the cloud, and there's technology that we power that for. So, we talk about apps, and it's like, well, people are so used to all the greatest apps ever. If you create an app that is not great, no one's going to use it because it's not going to stack up. So if you want to go create the next real estate Instagram, if it's not as great as Instagram, no one will sign on. And so for courses, right, like you've got to make it great and you have to staff it right. You have to have the right people. And we have lots of products. I mean, it's not just the Salt Lake Serhant course. I mean, maybe Kyle can give you the breakdown of kind of everything that goes into the curriculum and the entire package.
Yeah, we want to be with real estate agents as they grow in their careers.
Right.
So it starts with the membership. Right. We have a global community of over 12,000 agents in 110 countries.
A lot of referrals floating around.
We're part of that. Who do millions of dollars a month in referral deals. It is very real. And we have Kelsey Lee, who runs Serhant Connect. Like that is a big part of what it is. Real estate agents come in, they want to learn from each other, but also do business with each other.
Yes.
We got a referral from the Serhant, an agent on my team. Shout out to Mike Joseph. Someone from Serhant referred them an equestrian deal because Maryland's got a lot of horse farms. It was like $1 million buyer. Still working with that client. Came from Serhant.
Nice.
They're out there, and
happens. You gotta
it all
get in
comes
the
out
game.
the relationships. But you have to be active in the community.
Yep.
Right. From there, we have the digital courses, and we have 6 of them. We're coming out with the 7th, closing and negotiation to complete our entire curriculum.
Do you know how to do that, Ryan? Closing and negotiation? Is that one of your specialties?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just checking.
It's going to be a big one because it's it's things you touch on all the time on how to close and how to negotiate. But to take literally everything I know about how to close on day one, how to negotiate for the other side to win. There's all my philosophies are going into it, and it'll come out in January.
Hell yeah.
But you can get early access for our Black Friday sale. Right. So that is starting on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. You can get early access.
Oh yeah, I was going to show you.
Be able to. Yeah. So we just recorded this commercial, and this is also early access because we haven't released it yet. But we are putting our entire core curriculum on sale for Black Friday.
How much?
It's
for all
just
of it?
it's 80% off.
Oh my God.
80% off. And the reason for it is because there honestly has never been a better time to get ahead in the business. We believe that when there is volatility, there is also opportunity.
Yes.
And we made a whole commercial driving home this point.
With a flamethrower.
Holy smokes.
It's a great photo.
Look, it's 80% off because we want as many real estate agents as possible to prepare to make 2023 their best year yet. And it is possible. You just have to change the way that you do business. Take the best of how Ryan does it and how all of the agents here at Serhant do it, because we include the best practices from other agents in our courses as well.
Yeah.
Find what works in your business and make those necessary tweaks so when you head into 2023, if you're having headwinds in your market, those headwinds are going to die down because you've made the necessary changes to make 2023 a really strong year.
Couldn't agree more. All the top agents grow in a down market. Everybody knows it.
Yes.
Once you're at cruising altitude, if it gets hard for some of the top guys, it's going to get really hard for a lot of other people. But you got to do the work. Like you said, these courses are so good, but they demand that you work. You follow along with the workbook. I believe that core course was 75 pages. It's like you have to kind of pause, think. Let me think about this. Because if you rush it, it's bullshit. You got to do the work to squeeze the juice out of the course, which I love.
What's the line that you always say about the work?
If you take care of the work will take care of you.
But it's real,
Charlie
right?
Munger quote, actually. Now, that's your quote, but Charlie Munger always says that. That's Warren Buffett's partner.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
He said, if you take care of the work on your desk, you'll never have to worry about getting more. It'll just keep coming.
Yeah, exactly.
But it makes sense.
Look, here's the thing. The value is so much in the strategy, and we give you the tools and the resources to execute on the strategy. The execution is really the hard part. But through the workbook and through the activities and the exercises, we give you all those tools.
Yeah.
And also provide you with the inspiration and the ability to now go do it yourself. Because you do have to put in the work.
You have to do it yourself.
Fast agents are the ones who will put in the work.
Yeah. And what's been awesome to watch too is from what we've been able to create, there is no one size fits all agent, right? Like we're not the cold calling company. Like we're not, we're not the door knocking company, but if that's what works for you, great, and we will make you the best. So for the agents that just want to do, I want to get the course on how to sell through social. Right. I think we have the best course on how to sell real estate through social out there. You can watch it. You're good to go on a Saturday, and you can change your business that day. If you want to have the entire curriculum and build your personal brand, learn how to sell, learn how to deal with low inventory markets, how to build your digital presence and websites and all, like, you have all of that. Or if you just want one-on-one, right? The coaching programs that we have are performance-based. They're taught by ex-military. Right? They're not like, hey, this is what you need to do at 9 a.m. Like, we have all of that, but then it's how do you become a better salesperson, right? As a person. Like, we focus on the person because that's a lot of times what it comes down to. And then there's pro brand strategy, right? To really build out your personal brand that'll generate leads in your sleep. So you wake up a brand and don't wake up a broker. That's the way that, especially going into this current market, like Kyle said, the volatility, the opportunity to build a brand that generates business while you sleep right now is probably the best time that any of us are going to know in our careers. And so like, that's why we're so bullish on pushing this out right now to help people around the world.
And that's the third level of it. There's the membership, there's the courses, and then there's the do it with us.
Yeah.
Work on it with us. Work on your personal brand with our expert brand strategists who we took from some of the top places. One of our brand strategists used to run social media for Daymond John. She was his personal social media person, and we recruited her to come work with us and with our agents. We have someone who worked for a presidential candidate, right? Who's one of our brand strategists on our roster, who also worked on Broadway and helped build Playbill to what it is today. The reason why that brand is so big is a lot of the work that he had put in. So we have real brand strategists helping agents.
It's just unbelievable. I want to run through all 6 real quick just so the audience knows what they are. And I implore you, go to sellitlikesirhant.com, or you can find it on ryanserhant.com courses. It's easy to find. These 6 courses, there's about a 90-second trailer for each one, and you're going to buy it. So be careful if you go there. Or probably should wait till Black Friday. You don't want to play retail for this stuff.
Well, it depends on when you drop this podcast. Black Friday's next week.
We might miss it. Sorry. So we have Real Estate Core. Let's go through Real Estate Core. That's the basics. That's just, you got to get that one. That's the 75-page workbook. I think they're all great workbooks. That gives you the great overarching Sell It Like Serhant strategy, the Serhant sales system. Follow, FKD.
Finder, keeper, doer, follow up, follow through, follow back, push, pull, persist, everything that will help you.
All the good stuff. The second one was what?
How to sell through social.
Obvious. We don't even need to cover it because you're like an icon at that.
Yep. So it's, how to sell through social.
The ultimate personal brand course for real estate agents.
Personal brand. Now, that's the one that I really dove into, and that's requires some deep work. What's your and? Like, how do you want to show up in the world? Working on the person. And you know what you said the other day? I forget which course it was. I think it was Business in a Box, jumping all over. You said, we had to help you manage these 3 things: your time, your money, and your energy. And I just dropped the pen. I said, could it be that simple? I think it is. Your time, your money, and your energy. You want big money energy? That's a course. Is that Business in a Box?
Yes. So how to build your personal brand. Then there is how to sell in a low inventory market. Because as we were going through 2021, and what's great about us too is that this isn't rinse and repeat, recycle. Last year we were in a very, very tight inventory market. We still are in a lot of markets. So we created all the content needed for agents to be able to sell and generate business and generate referrals and expand their businesses in a tight inventory market.
Killer.
And then there's how to build a digital presence. So it's websites, your social presence, how to be out there. It's the business card stays in your pocket because your digital presence is so large. Our most recent course is Business in a Box, right? So kind of how to build the ultimate sales career.
That just came out, right? That's pretty new. That's like September or something.
Yes. That was all systems and process.
That one did so well. There's so many agents who got it because they know that the way to grow business, especially into 2023, is to stop running around. Stop running around. Stop trying to do all the things. If you get your business fundamentals right, if you hire right, if you manage your time, your energy, and your resources, money correctly, you will grow your business. That is what Business in a Box is about. Business fundamentals.
And that spurned a whole Business in a Box, the course, spurned a whole separate business for us now called Serhant Preferred, which is broker owner and team lead driven, where they come to us and say, hey, I've got 10 people. Can we bring on the Sell It Like Serhant training for my entire group? And so it's become this B2B business for us. And then, so that's 6. In January, we will release, finally, by popular demand, how to close and negotiate.
Oh, that's what we're waiting for. I want all my friends at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services to lean into that the other business you guys just created for teams and brokerages, because what's neat at Berkshire Hathaway is there's so many amazing operators, and they have these giant conglomerates.
Yeah.
Like our brokerages, we're just selling $5 billion, 1,400 agents, 38 offices. They need that in a lot of cases, and the top teams need it too.
Yeah, sure.
And it's so hard to find believable people, as Ray Dalio would say. You need believability weighted decision making.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of good coaches, but they're not doing it right now. They don't have the full arsenal. So I imagine when a company like that engages more on a B2B level, they're going to get the whole artillery.
Yes.
And that's very exciting. I didn't know that, and I think that could be really big for the people who lean in, because you got to lean in to level up.
Yeah, we just started it like 4 weeks ago.
It's been incredibly popular.
Yeah.
And it's application only, right? And I do want to point out, it's really important. Oh, and all of our one-on-one programs are, but this in particular, because we want to make sure that the best team leads and broker owners are part of this, because at the end of the day, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Yeah.
Amen. Well, I think we might have hit our time if we want to do a TikTok. Brian,
Let's do it. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for giving us the tour. This has been incredible. I could talk to you guys all day, but I know you got a bunch of calls and things to do.
Yeah.
And you're going to be closing people, and you're going to teach us all how to do it shortly. So, hey, thanks again, man.
Thanks, man.
Really an honor.
Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you so much for joining. Until next time.